Welcome to another episode of SaaS Builders with Jefferson Nunn. And I'm here today with who has an amazing, incredible technology called 3D Real Magic. She is the top fashion technology solution provider in 2021. She's on the Forbes 1000 list. So just all kinds of things. I'm so honored to be here today with can you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit more.
Hi, Jefferson. Thank you for having me on here, and I really appreciate your invitation to speak about our project. And fashion tech solution, and we convert real clothes into 3D digital fashion. This is for e-commerce. It can be used in AR, VR, gaming, and of course the latest, which they call digital fashion with NFT. So we
Uh,
are, an asset company. Yeah.
that's fantastic. And I've evaluated the project, and I've had my team look through it as well. But before we get into that, can you tell us a little bit about where you are, how you came into this project, that sort of thing.
Well, it started, in 2014. We've been doing this for a while, and the team, the co-founders, and I came together at NVIDIA and Stanford, and
NVIDIA, did you say?
yes, NVIDIA.
Wow.
We were the computer, the GPU, which is the NVIDIA chip architect,
Yes.
and our specialty is in 3D modeling and compute and graphics. We actually design those chips that you can play games with. So we understood, in this point of view, we understood the technology behind rendering 3D and depth sensor. So this all started when my daughter went to college, and she went to Boston, and I'm in San Francisco, and so we're like long distance, and she still, when she left, she still wanted to shop with me. And at that time, this is 7 years ago, um, JCPenney was a #1 online retailer, believe it or not, for apparel, because they transitioned from catalog to to
Online, that's
online, just a
right.
web page, right? But it's not e-commerce at that time. And so I thought, wow, this is something interesting. And my daughter has been copy links. I want this dress, or let's take a look at this dress. So I thought that, wow, she's really missed me. That's why she's been communicating. But it turned out she missed my credit card. So and I realized that there's a real problem in online shopping, that we could not, aside from just the photo, we couldn't really see the detail and really understood what we are buying, right? So it's more like a guess, where, oh, I think it costs this much, and I have the certain assumption of what the quality is. So I really felt that technology wise, e-commerce is a little bit behind, because we actually can render beautiful clothes and have a close up, and eventually become to a virtual try on. That's what the race is going. So I started this project and wanted to, show beautiful dresses that you can interact with as if you were touching and feeling, right? So the current behavior on online shopping, even though COVID have shift everyone to to e-commerce, and online shopping and digital fashion is the new battleground for all the apparel industry. Even though that's the case, our behavior for consumers hasn't really changed. When I was, in my teens, that's a long time ago. Uh, I
No,
go
not
to
at
the
all.
mall. Yeah, I go to the mall. I go to the mall, right? I drive with my friends to the mall, and then we try trend dresses on at the mall, and then maybe you buy one, right?
Right.
But currently, what happening is that my daughter would buy 10 dresses and try them on at home and send 9 back. So the behavior hasn't
Wow.
changed. And it's questionable whether that is more sustainable, right? Before we go to the store, now you ship 10 store to your
Right.
house, right? So really, we still have to try 10 dresses on to see whether we want to keep one. So I want to change that behavior. I want to, basically reduce, convert, mean increase sales and reduce return. I want to, to change that when you buy something, especially more expensive dresses or luxury item, that you know what you're getting, and it's more likely that you will keep it instead of returning. The current click conversion rate is 2%, meaning that 100 people come to your site and 2 people buy. And of the 2 people, 30% of those return your product. And if you buy luxury good, which is $250 or more, the return rate is 70%.
That's
It's
right.
almost like the 2 people who buy, 1 would return it. That's a and that makes e-commerce in apparel business a very low margin business, right? You're dealing with more return than you're selling. So with the interactive experience that we're providing, we have proven that the click conversion rate went up 650%. So,
Wow.
wow, it's a whole number. So, if you were at $5 million a year in revenue, now you're seeing almost 50 million.
Wow. That's
Wow,
incredible.
wow, right? Now you have to wonder, how am I going to get the product to sell? But that was our initial testing. So where we are now is we're looking for a customer to try out our 3D Real Magic, and to see the difference in e-commerce, and also be more sustainable by reducing return.
That's awesome. So yeah, I have a few thoughts there, but before we get to that, I do want to get to one more kind of a profile thing. Tell me more about, you won some of these awards, top fashion technology solution provider and so on. Tell me more about that.
Oh, well, we got it's really surprising about we not only we got the top fashion tech 2021, we were top 200 company for Tommy Hilfiger sustainability challenge. Part of the Forbes Next 1000 is about about small businesses and what we do to and sustainability. So for the top fashion tech, because we provide an end-to-end solution. It's all encompassing, meaning that you don't have to be tech savvy as a fashion, as a retail store or fashion brand. We give you a one link where you can copy and paste into your website, or into Shopify. If you accept iframe, that's technical stuff, but work mostly with all the web HTML5.
Right.
So
You work with all the web platforms.
right. And our platform is is automated. So that it's a camera array, and within 15 minutes we can convert your dress into a 3D dress.
Hey, tell me more about that. So let's say I have any product, like even this
hmm
plant.
hmm
I send this plant to you. Tell me more about what happens at the studio.
Well, we just put the plant in the middle. We have a it's you probably see photo booth before. It's just a
Sure.
photo booth, but it's arranged in an optimized way for apparel. So we put a lot of optimization in, so that you could create a 3D object, which is a 3D object in 3D point in space, that have depth information in it. And we optimize this for e-commerce, so that you can interact with it online. Most 3D object that being rendered today with variety of other technology, they optimize it for geometry, or for and to be used in with VR glasses or AR glasses, right? But we actually optimize this for e-commerce, so that you have interactivity of all 3D that it can give you without extra equipment. You can like with the plant, you can zoom and you can rotate, you can zoom, you can pinch, and zoom in 50% more, and you can go inside. I mean, inside the dirt if you want to. So
Yeah, inside the dress or inside the briefcase or the
inside the
shoe
briefcase,
or even all around this plant, right?
right, and see the detail. Yep.
That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible.
People have been approaching us to try to do cannabis buds. They want to see their
I don't know
buds.
why. I mean, it's just a little green bud.
People want to see their buds
I guess
because
they
we
really want to see it. I don't know
right
why. But,
with the texture detail, because we optimize for texture. We want to show
uh,
you the quality of the products that you have, and we want to in a sense where it almost like you're holding it, you can see it, you can rotate, and it gives you that endowment effect, which is a behavioral science term for
right.
the more you hold it, the more you want to own it.
Yeah, that
So
makes
that
sense.
right? So we want to create that effect without, any extra hardware. So anybody could have the phone or a laptop can or iPad can play with it and can be engaged. So you want to, all the money you spend to bring people to your site or your Shopify store, you want them to stay a little longer, right? You don't want to bounce off to another place because you spend money advertising
Yeah,
for them to get there.
acquisition is
Hmm.
expensive. User
Hmm.
acquisition, that's the number one cost of any web store owner. So let's drill down a little bit into, I think, your life cycle. Obviously, you passed prototype and even passed MVP a little bit, but it
A
looks
little bit
like,
MVP. Hmm.
but you haven't really gone to market. Would you say that's where you're at right now?
We haven't gone to market because, well, there's a couple of things. Um, the fashion industry is just getting started in terms of going online. Previously, before COVID, right, everybody is kind of dragging, right? Only a few big retailer, but now everyone is forced to have online presence more than just an address, like here's my address or phone number or my email, right? So now the fashion industry are more open to, well, maybe we should explore new technology, and for
Very much
online
so.
space, right? So it's a good time for us, but we are struggling to reach our customer. Well, that's come the challenge, right? We are B2B, so it's hard. The B2B space is not as well mapped out, or marketing wise, it's not as clear cut as B2C, right? Buying Google ads is not going to help me, right? I mean, I have to buy the right keyword or the right ad, and then and the acquisition cost, like you said, is very high, and you have to also find the right people to talk to. So that's what we need help with, even though we have a product and we know who our target customers are, which is fashion retailer, e-commerce platform, but we don't know how to reach the right people and also make it and have the right kind of engagement.
Well, I would say you're in the right place. Just a little bit about my background, because I mean, I've covered it in prior shows, but I've been in the IT space for e-commerce, e-business, well, all my life. I started in 1996 with the industry. And the very first job I was at was senior network engineer at a company called Pound Global Solutions that spanned the world. We had offices in 25 countries, and we localized software. And so I worked directly with IT people all over the world, even in
Jefferson,
1990.
were you 10 years old then in 1990? You must be,
Nah,
you look
I
very
was in
young.
my 20s. I was in my 20s. I'm now 49, but I was
Oh,
in
okay.
my 20s at the time. So since then, in 1999, I started a .com company along with a lot of other people. And we had a number of clients. One of those was Vanco Corporation. I met, who's now deceased, he's recently deceased, Ron Popeil.
Hmm.
And from 2003 to 2008, I worked at Vanco Corporation as their IT director. Uh, After 2008, I worked at a Verizon wireless premium retailer called Co Wireless. I developed their insurance product. We had a team of 100 developers. I worked with, again, IT people all over the world and all across the US. We had, at the end, over 400 stores across the country that I was directly managing. I've worked in the insurance space a little bit after that for Farmers Insurance, doing social media advertising, social media acquisition. But again, dealing with IT directors, CEOs, and that sort of thing. So I'm pretty well versed with how do you reach CEOs, IT directors, and that sort of thing, right? I have a lot of them connected up to me on my LinkedIn. I've talked with them, conversed with them, sent them proposals, explained to them why they need to acquire a piece of technology. All right, so I'm very well versed with that part of the conversation. So for going to market, I believe that my team and I can help you literally go to market. But again, you don't want to just kind of go everywhere all at once, because that's usually a recipe for disaster. And I would say the very next immediate step that makes the most logical sense, low cost, high reward, low risk, high reward, is always that A/B test. We want to create a piece of marketing, right? Just like you would do for consumers, because oddly, IT directors, they're consumers too. It's just they have a different kind of a taste level. And I can tell you without a doubt, they are all the time looking for ways of increasing their optimization of their store. Can I get to that extra from 2% to 3%? They won't pay money for it. But I'm sure, you know, they have probably seen 1,000 emails saying, hey, we can boost your conversion rate. All right. And yes, I would propose sending out one of those emails simply because, well, you never know. It's in their inbox. All right. But that's where we'll get to that.
Right. I mean,
But,
I feel like you could help, and I think that it's the right time for us to get help, because not only help me, but we are helping small businesses, right? Because
absolutely.
the biggest threat is what is Amazon, right? And so all of the little guys who's on Shopify, on WordPress, are selling things that they bring values. Little fashion mom and pop store really would need the help to survive.
I looked at your website. We discussed a little bit about that. I think the very most important thing that we want to do is we want to get the message out there about what your product is. And I believe at the very front, center, front and center should be 3D real magic. Those words, that should be at the very top. Just saying that you have this amazing piece of technology. Right below that, I think some of those other elements, I don't think that award should be front and center. I think that should be a little further down. It's important, but not at the very top. I think front and center, top left, should be that incredible spinning, rotating dress that you have, along with others, your the briefcase, the shoes, all of that. And then on the right side, I would propose adding zoom in still pictures of the inside of the dress, the inside of the shoe, the inside of a briefcase. Nobody has that right now. Along with the message, we can increase your conversion rate by, you said 850%. Great. I would like to create a free PDF case study type of thing. We can turn into an ebook, whatever. Hey, download this 20-page ebook on how to increase your Shopify store. Forget Amazon. This is how you make the money.
Right.
And I can tell you right now, I know a number of e-commerce people that are selling on Amazon right now, and they hate Amazon. Amazon, you have to give up, I'm not kidding, 50%. Of your gross.
Well, I mean, and then that, like you said, right, 50, wow, that's a lot, because that is passed on to consumer. I mean, we all just paying Amazon the extra money, right? It could have cost less.
Advertising, shipping, whatever else. There's a lot of Amazon fees, and then before you know it, half your money's gone, and you only get half of it. It's absurd. For physical products. And so those are all the elements that you talked about already just now today in the show, plus some of the ones I just mentioned. I can put all of that into a nice, 20-page ebook to say, download this ebook to find out how you can increase your conversion rate by 650% and lower returns for free. Click here. We capture their email address and phone number and everything else. Also somewhere, rather than request demo, I'd rather put a booking link. Book your meeting right now with one of our product specialists.
Oh, I see.
To get started right away. you click and you go right to a calendar that somebody on your team can
Mm-hmm.
handle. Those
Mm-hmm.
are the elements that I would see that would increase your own conversion rate in B2B sales.
Mm-hmm.
And then going forward to get the message out there, um, the very first step would be a very limited, targeted, maybe a couple thousand Shopify stores. All right. It's a very low cost
Mm-hmm.
way. Couple thousand store owners. Hey, we have this amazing piece of technology. I personally know a few of them, and I will be happy to give them a call for you to see if we can get them to sign up. Our goal is to get at least 10 signups within
Mm-hmm.
the next 3 months. So I'd love
Yes.
to work with you on that. And I have this amazing value proposition for you. It will cost you absolutely nothing. I heard somebody, they just told you the other day, they wanted how much? How much was it?
They want $8,000 up if I sign up right now
$8,000.
in this. Right.
$8,000.
$8,000. That's right.
Unbelievable.
I
And
know it is. It is. And I'm like, and I've had, I mentioned to you earlier that I had an epiphany that, you know, that my customers are in the same situation I am. They want to do it, but they don't have 8,000 up front.
well,
Right?
in an upcoming show, I'd like to work with you on some of the pricing models and things like that. I believe that there's actually a way through that there because I know the mind of these e-commerce people. And I believe
I would love for you to work through that with me because I want to understand how we could make this work. I have, since I made the Forbes Next 1000, there's a lot of people that reach out from overseas, like,
yes,
yeah, that they want to work with me. And I, have told them, I said, I don't know how to make this work yet. I need to work out how do we make this work because I want to help you. Those, overseas, I'm Jefferson. I think that if you help us, yeah,
sure.
or help all of us here in the SaaS, in a SaaS builder program that you're doing, that you're doing a good thing because fashion industry is a very unique industry. It's an industry that affect all women's, four group of women in different phases of of women's life. uh,
Right,
the first one was consumer. Most of people who buy fashions, women, right? The small and medium sized retailer and fashion brand are all owned by women, right? And
right.
the big conglomerate ones are owned by men, like Tommy Hilfiger and all those guys. The LVMH are owned by men, and Nike, as you know. And the
Yep,
third group of women are the apparel worker. They're all women and children overseas, right?
that's right.
And the fourth one is Mother Earth. So any things that you can do to change their life, it's all would reverberate to like half of the population, and including the environment. So
Yeah, I absolutely believe we need to reduce carbon emissions. And if anything, we should make it a little bit easier for women to, long story short, choose what they want to wear.
right,
I mean,
right.
that's at the end of the day what we're talking about. And I agree with you. I don't understand why, with all this technology we have around us, we haven't figured it out yet. And I think you figured out a huge part of it with the 3D Real Magic. I think that's one of the main
Now you
missing
make me
elements.
feel bad that I pay 50% more for my underwear if I buy it from Amazon.
Well, I know how that goes. Actually, there I found a company, at least for socks, and I
Hmm.
really think there ought to be something for underwear. But I
Hmm.
found a sock company that they have a lifetime replacement guarantee
Mm,
on their socks, and they never wear out. I've been wearing it now for 10 years,
wow.
and
Mm,
I think it goes back to a lot of apparel is made uh, to be quickly manufactured. It's not made to be worn for a long period of time. I think another part of it, at least longer term,
mm-hmm,
I really see, you mentioned NFTs, and I really see this as where it's going,
mm-hmm,
is the ability to not only own
mm-hmm,
patterns,
mm-hmm,
right? Let's say somebody creates a pattern,
mm-hmm.
they should be able to be the one to own that pattern.
Right,
But
right.
more with 3D printing and
Mm-hmm,
everything on the rise, eventually there'll be a printer for
Mm-hmm.
whatever dress you want to wear. You
Not
simply put,
only not yeah, like you said, like with NFT, they could create a digital version of it. In fact, I want to mention that I'm not sure whether part of this podcast, but I am working with a charitable foundation,
hmm,
and it's called Mind Your Fashion. We're putting together a digital fashion show.
oh, awesome.
Ba- Right, and this is for it's a nonprofit, so it's worldwide. We will feature 10 designers from different country, and all the proceeds go to the nonprofit. Not only that, the designer themselves would donate the dress, the physical one, which we will auction off, but we will create a digital version with NFT and auction that
Awesome.
off. So
When
it's
is
a
this
second.
happening?
This is happening, I believe we're targeting early December. Yeah.
December. Amazing.
Right, we're trying to put that together. Maybe you can help us promote that too.
Yes, I will ramp it up and make that a huge success as well. So
Hmm.
let's work together over the upcoming weeks. Are you committed? I believe you are to make
Yeah.
this success.
Hmm.
All
Yes,
right,
I
great.
am.
Well, I look forward to talking with you and working with you every week to make this happen. So, but no, the goal is, see, we have these weekly stand-ups, and that'll
Hmm.
be part of what happens, where we
Hmm.
make a list of what we both need to accomplish, and that's how we hold each other accountable. See, a lot of these other people, and I'm happy to talk about it, that $8,000 guy, they'll give you lots of homework, but they don't have any homework at all.
I know,
Here,
right?
I'm talking about, I have a list of homework that I just committed to. I have to figure out an email campaign. I have to figure out a landing page. I have a lot of things I have to do on my side. All right. But in the upcoming weeks, you'll also have a little bit of homework to do on your side. All right.
Hmm.
Figure
Hmm.
out a pricing strategy, some of these other things. All right.
Hmm.
We'll get to
Hmm.
that in the upcoming weeks.
Hmm.
But already I identified the very immediate next step which is by next week, I need to come back to you with a proposed landing page design
Hmm.
and email campaign. And I'll
Hmm.
have that ready for you. Like, I
Hmm.
want to launch this literally now if I have
Hmm.
your approval. You might say, no, change these three things. We change it and we're launching.
Okay.
That's what
No,
we're going
no, no, no. I mean, I think that what you said makes sense. There have been requests from my other advisor who said, why can't, what you need is something simple. And they look at our websites like it's too complicated because you are
Yes.
a technologist and you just talk about technology all day. And they were telling me that nobody really needs to know the detail really.
There is one homework assignment for you because I can
Okay.
help, but you need to find a domain name that's something like 3drealmagic.com. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if
Mm-hmm.
that's
Okay. Yeah.
available,
Yeah. I think it
but
is. Yep.
find one of those domain
Mm-hmm.
names. And
Okay.
then that's what we're going to use as the landing page. I have servers, I have hosting, I have all of that worked out.
I also
I
wanted
just
to
need a name.
ask for your help is that I wanted one landing page for the NFT. Yeah,
Ah, the
yeah.
NFT. Yes. Well,
Yes.
we
I
have a
mean,
little
it's a
time for that,
different,
but we can
yeah,
do that.
yeah. Okay, good, good. Okay.
3D Real Magic
Magic, yep,
NFT.
yep.
Maybe Magic
Eh,
NFT.
yeah, okay.
But yeah,
Okay,
for
all right.
sure.
Oh, I 3D magic. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's probably
Okay.
taken by
o-
Disney.
Okay. All right.
But this
Very
is
good.
good. So,
Yeah,
all right.
thank
So
you.
I will set up a time for you next week and we'll keep going forward. All
Yeah,
right.
sounds good. Sounds good. Yep. I'm looking
So,
forward
last
to it.
question. Have you
Hmm?
ever been this excited since you've launched?
No, actually, no, I haven't.
Awesome.
Um, I when I, remember I said the $8,000 thing. I was really down, like I couldn't find a way to work with him, because he has the right message. Well, he knew how to, does
He
his
knows how to
messaging.
sell.
I know how to sell, yes. And but when you were talking to me, it was very straightforward, and I'm like, wow, there's no gimmick, So I really was excited after I chat with you, you know, um, on the phone last time and or on the Zoom, and I'm like, wow, I call my co-founder. I'm like, there's somebody's gonna help us figure out how
Awesome.
to market to Shopify because we were thinking about that forever, and we haven't, we did work here and there, but we never actually went through with it because we didn't know how to market it or go forward. Like, how do you do it? Yeah,
Would your co founder like to join us in the next call?
I'm not sure.
Ah, I understand. Internal politics.
Well, no, 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 no. He's like, he preferred to just code.
I understand that.
Right, right,
I,
right.
I mean, I'm a
So
coder myself. I get it. Sometimes it's better to just
no, no, I mean,
define.
you actually very good at it because, you came across as very sincere and very straightforward, and
Oh,
people,
appreciate it.
yeah. And not that you are not, but I'm just saying
Yeah,
that,
of course.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right. Well, I'm looking forward to next week. Let's make it
Me
happen.
too. Thank you.